rise to the jungle area, called it the Kuntisuyo. That's the way to the Kuntisuyo area, to Machu Picchu. Beginning from the Cusco city, center Cusco as the capital, to the northwest we have this road to the Amazon area. After Cusco will be Chinchero, and after Chinchero is coming Ollantaytambo. After Ollantaytambo is coming Machu Picchu, and after Machu Picchu we have the Vilcabamba. That's the way. Okay? During the expansion, territorial expansion, during the Inca time, it was necessary to create the towns, the cities, the villages, in order to show that the area was occupied by the Inca population, or Quechua's population. And that's why it was built different cities. And that's why we have right to Vilcabamba into the jungle. That was the city, called Campo, was like as a doorway to the jungle area and also to Machu Picchu. The Inca population, they know very well that the river, the sacred river, the Vilcanota River, following this river they can get right into the jungle, right into the Amazon jungle. Because this river finally will be fluent in the Atlantic Ocean. 80% of river in the whole Andes, from the whole Andes, is going into the Atlantic Ocean. It's not going to the Pacific area. Yes, 20% is going to the Pacific area. And this river now is a friendly river. Well, this season is very friendly, but in our rainy season will be completely white river, completely wild river. What I mean, into the jungle, this river will be joined with 3 big rivers more. It's coming big river, not the Amazon yet. Okay, but this river will be navigable. The local people, the native tribe that's living inside, they are using the little canoes for transportation for them. And the Incas, they know very well that they are using this river as a doorway to making his territorial expansion into the jungle. Okay, about this place, if this place was called as a Tampu, right now is well known as Ollantaytambo. Remember, Ollantay was a soldier, was a warrior, was a leader of the town. In a colonial time, one of the priests that is working in this archdiocese of Ollantaytambo, asking the local people catch a nice legend, catch a nice romantic legend about this place. Ollantay was just a soldier, but as a leader of this town, has an opportunity to visit the Cusco city, to the Inca palace. In that time, remember that one, or listen that one, that was completely forbidden to get married high-class people with the lower-class people. No way. The fine or the penalty was very drastic. But this person, Ollantay, as a leader of this town, has an option to visit the Inca in a Cusco city. But in that way, several times visiting the Inca palace, he met a nice, beautiful girl. And the girl was the king of the Inca's daughter. It was almost impossible. But the love is love. Ollantay can't stay long for a long time more without that the king know about that love, the secret love. Because the girl appeared in a prison. And the Ollantay decided to go to talk to the king, to the Inca. But in advance prepared his birth. He knows what's the risk. Probably the king ordered to kill. Okay? And he prepared his birth. He talked with the leaders of the community and the area. He said that I will talk. Whatever happens, I have to go to talk. But this history, this secret love was delayed or was told in advance to the king. The king ordered, the Inca ordered that these people have to be captured. And they went to the city Cusco. According to the history, the 2 armies, one of the local armies led by Ollantay, another army sent by the royal king, the Inca, they have a meeting around to Chinchero area. It was difficult to capture him. It was difficult to capture Ollantay in this area. All the population is fighting, dependent to him. But finally, these people is captured. According to history, the war between this local army with the royal army was for over 10 years. Finally was captured, and then is taken to the Cusco city. But surprise, a big surprise, the king died. There's a new king in Cusco city. And the new king, you know, wasn't his son, because it's passing generation by generation. And the new king is a young person, and finally he understands the love with his sister, and he permits to get married with this beautiful girl to this leader. That history was catched in a memory of these local people, and the priests know about this history, and this town, and this village was well known as Ollantaytambo. What does it mean? The Tambo of Ollantay, the house of this leader. Okay? That was the name about this town. Right now, this place was a very important place also during the conquest time, because in 1532, the Spanish came, arrived to the Cusco city, 2-3 years living in a Cusco city, because the Spanish tricked the local people. They said that we'll stay here just for a short time. We are an expeditionary. We never tried to live here. We just fixed our expedition and will be continued. But it happened 1 year, nothing. 2 years, 3 years, nothing. 4 years, coming the first mestizos. What are mestizos? Father is Spanish and the mother local people. They start to making family. 4 years, enough time to make friends. That is one of the things that the Inca Empire, which one approximately was 6 million people in a Cusco, in a whole empire, in a Cusco city, 300,000 people in Inca time. No more than the 200 Spanish dominate of the whole empire, because these people, they have 4 years to work with them, to make family, to make friends. Basically, when one of the leaders rising a rebellion against the Spanish, most of the local people just passed to the Spanish side, because they tried to survive it. They saw that many people dying. Okay? They like to save his life, and they're passing to their way. They're winning more people in a Spanish side. That was one of the faults of the Inca Empire. And the first warrior, or the first battles, or the war between Incas and Spanish was in a Cusco area, in a Cusco Valley. Exactly the Sacsay woman area, or sexy woman area that we passed this morning. And after that, the Inca armies loosened many people and decided to look for some place to save his life. And one coming to this. Look at the strategic location. People was placed on the mountains and was almost difficult to pass. That's why the Spanish did. They resist long time the war. Okay, here they make a big decision, the Inca army. The Inca army finally, here was the point where they decided to abandon almost forever the Cusco Valley, because they are losing many. Probably in that time, Machu Picchu was still alive, still with a big population, Machu Picchu. Do you imagine Machu Picchu with a population? And the Inca army and the king decide to save Machu Picchu. It is very easily to go into the jungle following the river. There's an Inca trail along to the river. But no, the leaders decide to catch this valley, the next valley. The next valley is like that big one. They're making a long way to get to the jungle area. This is another second trick to the Spanish. The Spanish just fall into them. And they save the Machu Picchu population. And the Machu Picchu population, they have enough time to move from there. Who knows that the male population is joined to the army to this point. And the other population is moving into the jungle or Vilcabamba area or Choqquequirao area. Okay? These are historically, it's very important place. But now, talking about the architectural system, the whole town, the actual town over there, the yellow buildings over there, including the church right here, that was built over to the Inca structures. The actual population, they just fixed the roof of the house. Instead of the thatched roof, they put the tile. And they are living in the same way. They are using the same windows, the same niches, the same doors, everything, except the roofs. That's the living quarters area in Inca time. The portion here, that's the royal section. This is a high-class people area. In Pisa, we'll visit the most important place, that's the temple. Where's the temple? Look at it. It's almost the same. The most important place, the temple, is located on the edge of the mountain, on the top, on the high area. Same way here, look. The temple is up here. Okay? And also in addition you can see the finest quality of walls at the last portion. Look at the quality. Well fit. Okay? The another one, the rocks, the material to build this temple is not around here. You have to know that one. It's coming approximately 5 miles from the other side, from the other mountain. That was transported rocks to build this area. The agricultural section we saw before to come into the city, and we have terraces following this valley up. This is one of the rich valleys too. We have water, a lot of water for irrigation too. Constructions on the mountain. Look at it, it's a big one. Looks like with a 3-4 floors building on the mountain. It is one level, that one. That was built in a different level, different terraces. That look that one. That one, the function is like that we saw in Pisa. This is the grain storehouses. Okay, look at the tracks. This is the track. Okay? But we'll see some constructions on the edge of the mountain. That's like the guard towers, checkpoint, okay, or to defend the valley. Okay, some of the rock we saw down here, look at the several pieces lying on the green area. Now, those were part of the temple. The temple on the top was destroyed during the colonial time. They pulled down many pieces of the temple, and they split the small pieces in order to build the colonial buildings, like the church, for example. Look at the church lintel. Do you see one of the lintels? That's an Inca one in a colonial construction. And a half portion of the tower, also with the Inca rocks, but that was catch from this area. Okay. Any questions? No? Okay. I think you have a good lunch. Yeah. We need energy now to get the top. Okay?